Hey loves, hey, I see Erica and Vicky in the house. Sorry I'm a couple of minutes late. I was trying to go ahead and get all my files open so I wouldn't be struggling trying to open them while I'm recording. And I think we'll just give it a few minutes, let people log on and get situated, know that I'm live. And in the meantime, I'm going to be going through some of the photos that were submitted, kind of picking out some that I think would be good enough resolution, maybe even some that show some issues that we might have and might have to overcome. It's a beautiful photo. Looks like it might need a little bit restoration, but nothing we can't handle. And I need to do some more with the guys in them. So hopefully we'll have some of the folks logging in tonight that'll give me some ideas of what to do for the fellas. Hey guys, welcome. We're just going through some photos right now, and I'm trying to pick out the ones that we can use for tonight's live. And these are not it. I know I had some more. I should have put them in a folder. Let me see how I'm going to do this. Sort by date. That's a good photo. Kendra, you gave me a good photo. I'm looking for ones that have good resolution too. Bonita, I think this is a really beautiful photo too. All of the photos are beautiful. Like when I see them, each one I see, like this one, I could see a lot of character. I see a lot of character in this one. And this would be one that would be interesting to show you how to mock it up where, of course, you can tell that's a toilet stool, but maybe we can prop something else there. This one, Renee, is beautiful photo. She has two really beautiful photos. And young lady. And this is a young lady too, just not too long ago passed away. So I'm really sorry for you all. My heart aches anytime I know that that someone leaves this earth with someone else in pain, because usually it's us kind of being, I call it selfish, when we want someone to be here more than we feel like they deserve to be in heaven. So, but it's cool. It's okay to be selfish sometimes. It's okay to mourn and to want for that person to be with us. So this is our way of commemorating and honoring. And I realize a lot of it comes from just ancestral roots, and understanding that your connection to people sometimes with their photos is how you not only remember them, but it's how you embrace them, how you say their name, how you tell generations to come, how you help to evolve their legacy over time. So I always wonder, I'm like, why do I do so many photo shirts? And I have to realize that it's really a part of culture, and it's a part of how we not just cope, because it'll be years and years and years later and we still want something that represents our loved ones. So I just found a way of honoring those who lived and died before us. So I love to do this type of stuff. Okay, loves, I think we got enough people to go ahead and get started. I have 3 templates that we're going to go through today. And I'm going to pick some of these photos so I can also show you some of the issues you might run into and what you might have to do to clean them up and make them usable. So here we go. We're just going to get going. And hopefully the folks that have the photo here will be present so they can help guide me through what they think this art should look like. And if not, then I will I may not have the person's name, so I may put like a placeholder for the name and the dates and that sort of thing. And D Williams 7825, which photo was yours, or did you submit one on the Innate Creatives group today? Oh, okay, I see you. I see Shay. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on live chat instead of... Let's see. So I see 2 for Shay. Now, Shay, this is a beautiful picture here, but if I had this in a better resolution, I could use this one. But I really need that one to be an updated, like a better resolution image, either from the source, like scanned in from the photo, or maybe just a different picture altogether. And this one I do really like, Shay. I think I will probably have to spend a little time on this because I like that it has the reflection there. So I think that would be beautiful to use. Like, you have to tell me something that he likes though. I don't know, like, you know, if it was fishing, outdoors, if it was, you know, music. Give me something that he really loves. So then that way, I think I will end up making a new template based on this one. So if you give me some inspiration, I may be able to come up with something really, really... fishing. Okay, cool. D. Williams. Girl in the glasses. Okay, Darlena. Okay, I got you. Okay, that's a beautiful picture. And this one I think we can work with because even though it's a screenshot, I think we'll have a good enough resolution. Breakdancing, football. Okay, Shay, so he has a lot of interest going on there. So it probably won't be one of these templates because I really do need to develop some more, you know, for the gentleman. So I think I'm going to do something new for him, but I'm going to keep that photo. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to put my email on here. I want you to email me that photo. And just remind me in the email the things that he likes, and I'll come up with something for that. Hey, Jesse. Okay, cool. And so many things on here. I'm wondering why. And I saw this one too. This was a really pretty picture, good quality photo too. And a lot of young people, and I always want to do something like really, really fresh for the young folks. So I think these designs work well for the young and you know, and our elder population. So I think we're gonna go ahead and get into it. I gotta stop saying I got. I'm trying to break my niece and nephew from that. Now she's correcting me. Auntie, it's not got, it's have. All right, so let's go 1. Just gonna open it. And then we'll figure out randomly which one goes where. 2, we'll do the one for D. Let's do that one. And then let's choose, I like a couple picture. Let's choose a couple picture. And I really like Renee's and Chanel's picture. Oh, y'all are going to have me working now. The thing about it is, as far as remembrance templates go, I'm preparing them, but I have a whole lot of remembrance templates. So this is kind of making me pull all these together and clean them up for you guys. So I definitely want to do those too. But let's do a couple. And then this one has a little bit of photo restoration in it, so that'll be a good thing there. And I promise you guys, I got some more coming too, some more templates. So let's see. The first thing I'm going to do is see if it is a photo that I can cut out with Remove BG. And if not, then I'm going to leave those limitations and we'll work from there. If my computer will allow. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and bring these photos in one at a time over here and see what cuts out clean and what gives us issue. And if you don't have Remove BG, you don't have to pay for it, but you're just going to get the low resolution files. But it will still help you in your design journey. If you're learning how to design, this is definitely going to help you. Okay, let's start bringing in images. I think we're logged in now. Let's go to remove background. And I'll start dropping images. That one looked like it cut out pretty decent. I see like right here along the hair, it might have cut off a little too much, but it's not noticeable. And let's make sure, yeah, cut off a little hair there. Let's see what we have going on here. And there's a little bit of that equipment on the back wall that it couldn't discern whether it was background or foreground, but we can clean that up. All right, I was expecting this to be a hard one, but it did pretty decent. So we will have to clean up a little bit between the faces here and probably even do a little bit of restoration there. Now I'm just going to go ahead and bring everyone's photos in, and then I'm going to show you too what your limitations are based on what type of photos you provide or your clients provide you. This is a really clean photo. And Shay, I'm interested to see how Remove BG is gonna do this one. Yeah, it didn't do well at all. So I would definitely cut this one out myself, because the only thing it really helped with was this area. And I want that reflection image. I think we're gonna do something cool with that. So I'm gonna give that one a sad face. No, don't contribute, but I'm just giving you a sad face. Let's see what else we have here. And this will also give you an indication of what type of images I'm looking for when I ask you all for input for your photos, because essentially these are photos that'll be templates. So I do want them to have a certain quality photo look to them, so that other people can imagine their loved ones in that place on the template, and it has a high enough quality where I can really, you know, showcase the photo and the artwork. So I'm just dropping them, seeing what kind of issues we might have with the background. Now, I figured I was going to have a little bit of issue here with the stairs, but honestly, it cut pretty cleanly. I'm surprised. Now for this one, I probably would keep the stairs a little bit, because I have a feeling that I can even, you know, kind of do like the heavenly stairway, and she's sitting on there, so that would be cool. And I think I have another photo for her too. And this one didn't clean up quite as well as I needed. Who's that? Chanel. Chanel, do me a favor, babe. If you can email me the actual photo, even if you were to, like, I can see it's probably a Facebook or an Instagram photo, but if you can hover over it and hold down, or however you can download that particular image. If you download that image and send it to the email in my in the comment section, then I can do something better with that, because this one is probably not going to do us as much justice as it could. Let's see. Now this was one, I think this photo is gorgeous, but I was contemplating whether it would give me, it cut out the background. I'm really impressed. I thought I was going to have a lot of trouble finding that background. So yeah, Remove BG came through. Let's see the next one. And I was a little bit concerned whether it would get the hair, but it definitely got the hair in there. It removed the background. This one looks pretty clean. And then I have one more that I saw for tonight. Now, of course, we're not going to get a chance to get to all of these, but at the very least, if I cut out your image and I save it, then you're number one going to have the PNG. So that's going to be pretty much a prize just for participating. Now, Chanel, I need a better photo of that one before I download it, because I am using up my credits to download these for y'all. But I think this will also put you quicker to implementing not only just the templates, even if you design your own, it'll just get you in there quicker. You're one step closer to making a design when you have the background cut out. Okay, so I have that one. Just download the next. And see, I also want you to see what the full image resolution looks like, these pixels. The best photos are going to be at least 1200 pixels in one direction, and that's a minimum for it to really look like a decent resolution image to blow up. But we're going to work with whatever we can work with. I'm just letting you all know what to look for, and if you have a choice, you know, what resolution to scan in and submit. And most of us now aren't scanning in anything, everything's digital. So this one's 960 by 958. I think this one will be decent enough for us to do the type of layouts that we're doing. But if we wanted to blow that one photo up full on a shirt, you probably would see some significant pixelization. Let's see what's next. And this is the one, remind me, Chanel. Yeah, send me this one, because I think that's a beautiful picture. And I think also that with her being such a young spirit, that she will have you know, some good feedback on that image. Let's see here. This one I like, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep, oh, it took away some of her purse. Let's see, if I were to do anything, I would just edit this one. I would bring back the purse just so that it doesn't look so random. I knew something was missing there. Let me zoom in. And I'm going to go to restore, reduce the size of my brush here. And I'm just going to go ahead and restore more than I think I need, and I can always come back and clean it up in Photoshop, because I'd rather have a little too much than not enough and get to editing my photo and realize that I'm missing something major. So I'll show you how to clean that up in Photoshop. And then it looks like it's a little too much here, like that might be part of the stairs, but that's cool. I think it did a nice job of cutting out the hair to where it still gave me some texture, so I'm happy with that. And I'm just going to go ahead and download that one. And this was one that I would like to show, you know, how we would correct this green around here. And what it is, it's just glowing from the outside of the image, the background there. And there's some ways that we can deal with that. So I'm going to go ahead and download this one too. And like I said, this one, if you email me, if you have this photo, email that to me, because I think I can do better. But if all I have is this one, I can at least cut it out in Photoshop and do better than that did. This one came out great. And of course, these are all coming from Facebook, so not one of them will probably have a resolution of 1200 in a single direction, because I can't recall what Facebook limits the image size to. But basically, whenever you upload them on Facebook, it's probably degrading the quality of the image anyhow. And see, this one is such a low resolution of an image, it won't even allow me to download the full image. So for this one, let's see, Cedrica, this one, and of course she's gorgeous, she's adorable, she's just face brightens up anything that I would put her on, but I would definitely need a better quality photo to work with. So in the future, if you could submit another one, because I'm going to be doing definitely some more Remembrance shirts. I have probably at least 10 other templates to pull together that people have ordered. So what I'm doing is, as people are ordering these templates, they weren't templates before, they were just designs. So now I'm cleaning them up, making them templates for you all. So I'm going to have several opportunities for the Remembrance templates. So at least 10 more opportunities. So I'm definitely holding on to these two. So if I don't get to yours tonight, it's a chance it will be in one of the next ones. And it may not be a live. It might be one that I just surprise you with and put your photo in. Okay, this one cut out pretty cool. And this one I will have to clean that up just a little bit, but that's not so bad. I would rather keep all of this already cut and just clean up that side than to recut the entire image. And if I was a little bit concerned about this hair right here, if I was that concerned, I can go to edit and bring back that side, and I'm just going to see if it's even worth it. If it's just me, and it might just be me, because I think it's just basically her baby hairs right there. Let me see. Yeah, just like a few little. And the other thing is, when I bring it back, it doesn't bring it back clear. You see that little line right there? Like it's painting it back, but I almost, yeah, it's giving me this weird little squiggle right here. So I'm just gonna let that go, do some undoage, go back and download it as is. It even cut out her bun all nice and neat. I like that. Okay, so I think I'm done with the internet for right now. I'm gonna go ahead and close out of these, because if we do need to clean anything up, we're going to clean up the PNGs. And I think I kind of want to show you also, sometimes you'll have full body images and sometimes you'll have like more of the what I call bust photos, which is usually from the chest up. And you can use these templates for either of those type of photos. You just have to kind of envision how much space you need for that. So let's see. Now I can't remember who put what photo with which template, because I kind of did 3 templates today. I didn't intend to, but I've been making up for these orders, and I just happened to get 3 Remembrance templates ready today. Yeah, I want to see what's going on with the Affinity Smart Objects. I'm definitely going to check it out. Affinity definitely disappointed me, because I thought the update was going to update the or be able to keep my text, my editable text, and the effects to that text, but it did not do that, and I did install the update. So I am going to play with the Smart Objects too. I have a couple of templates that I have done in Photoshop that someone once converted to Affinity, and it is not going to work unless the Smart Objects work properly. So I will definitely be checking that out. And Radiva James, which photo did I show? One of the photos that you posted? Because if not, email me, because I'm scared to open up Facebook while I'm doing these things, because Facebook eats up so much data that it crashes my my live sessions. So if you look in the chat, you should see the email there, or you can tell me the name that's on the photo, because I pretty much put y'all's Facebook name as a name on the photo just so I remember who submitted it. Okay, love. So we're going to go ahead and get into editing this template. So typically it takes me about 10 minutes to edit these templates, sometimes even less. But I'm going to be talking through pretty much every step along the way, just so that you all get it. And later I'll break these down into the template sessions. So let's do it. Let's go ahead and see This one, I'm going to bring in Vero's image on this one. Now, all I did was drag it from my folder. Oh, duh, I'm supposed to bring in the PNG. That's why I worked so hard to get the PNG. Let me refresh this. There we go. So we just drag the PNG right on top of our artboard. Cool, cool. And you can see already that it kind of shows you what your look is going to be. And what I'll do is I'll drag it. Hold on a second. Let me expand this so y'all can see all my layers. We're going to go ahead and drag it down to where we see the photo. And automatically, if you drop it right on top of the existing photo, you can even copy this layer style. Then I'm going to turn off that layer and paste it. So it just put that teal glow around her. Now, technically, if I were just typing in the name here, I'm going to hit enter to lock that size in. I'm almost done. Now, you know that I have to do my little thing when it comes to these edges. I don't like the cut off edges, and I want to see that pretty bun right there. So I'm going to go into my layers, create a layer mask on the photo, grab my brush here, and of course it's huge right now, so I'm going to right click, make sure I have my soft brush selected. I'm going to bring down the size, and then I can hover over my artboard to see how big that brush is going to be. And that's it for the photo. I just had to fade that off just a little bit. And I don't know if Vero is here with us tonight. Okay, Chanel. Yes, I did. I was talking earlier. I'm sorry if the sound was cutting out, but I was asking if you can email me her actual photo. I would love to do something for her. So yes, email, look through the chat there and email me that photo, because I have a screenshot of a post, and a screenshot of a post is going to be very low resolution. Even if you go to that post, go to the post, and you know how on Facebook it'll have like the options of the ... and you can download that photo. Download that photo and email it to me, okay, babe? Veronica, is that you, Vero? Awesome, awesome. Yes, Kimberly, I do sell the templates, and as a matter of fact, when I'm done with tonight's session, these new photos that we're using today will be a part of the template. So basically, y'all are helping me upgrade my templates, helping me make them look really nice and pretty, and giving me ideas about how to even improve the content of them. So we are kind of co-designing right now. So the deal that I have is if I ever use your photo in the template, then I will give you the template for free. So that's what we're working on right now. Awesome, awesome. So yeah, Veronica, you'll get this template for free. Now, Veronica, if you want me to while I'm here, go ahead and let me know what name, and if you have her dates, if you want the dates on there, I can definitely update that for you. And Radiva, you're welcome. I'll be looking out for your email, okay, babe? All right, so let's get started. I'm going to show you how I guess I'll edit the text once Veronica gives me the name to update on here. But in the meantime, I want to show you that you can change these colors. You know, we're always color people. So let's get into the colors. I like this this kind of pastel look here. So what I have done is I've saved it. So you can see here, it's saved as a gradient. You also have a plain color option here. And you can double click on that color and make it any color you want. It'll change the color. But what I really want you to see is that you have an option to switch up your gradients. So if Veronica, if she has any specific colors that she likes, or you want to keep it these colors, that's cool too. But I'll still show you how to change them out. So let's change the name. we're going to double click here on the word Sandy, and I have her name, Zenaida, Canaida. And I'm going to give y'all a tip here. Because I'm doing this live and I'm looking at my phone, I'm typing this, but I never type names. I let somebody text it to me just like Veronica did just now, and I'll copy and paste it right out that chat, just because I don't want that to be a reason why something's messed up is because of a spelling of a name or a date. And that can happen often, and it's often overlooked because you're doing these projects and the people you're doing them for are just going to love the design so much, and they're going to see that photo and they might not notice something like it said 1993 instead of 1983. So the way that I combat that is I copy and paste from the original source. So if somebody text message me, emails me, whatever, I try to get it in text format some way. And I'm not talking about they wrote it on a sheet of paper and took a picture of it. I need something I can copy and paste. So here I'm kind of going against my rules, but it's because of the fear that I have my computer crash if I have too many windows open doing too much. So if y'all don't know already, Photoshop is a beast, and Photoshop plus Chrome plus this video recorder is definitely a killer combination. So Lopez, Lopez, awesome. So she loved purple. Sorry, I hit my mic, guys. Now, is my volume cutting out for anyone else? Because Radiva is saying that my sound is cutting out. And I don't know, it may be the connection to whatever device that she's viewing it on. But if it's my connection, I don't know what else I can do because I have to shut some stuff down. Hey, Donis. Yes, I do a one-on-one teaching, and sometimes we do them live. They're one-on-ones. You can go to the tech support on the website. It is innatelab.com/DIY, as in do it yourself. And there's a tech support option, and you can sign up for, I usually don't recommend you sign up for more than 2 hours, and we'll do the session live. If you want to do it live, I give you a free template to work on. If you don't want to do it live, you want to do a private session, that's perfectly fine too. So you have that option. Okay, so seems like sound is okay. So Radiva, I might need you to just chat with me then. If you can't hear what's going on, just chat with me and let me know if you need any help. So we've got the go ahead to do this as a purple theme, right? So anytime we know what somebody liked or loved, we're going to play on that and make it a part of the design. And it feels closer to that person. So just like we did for the gradient for the background, let's go ahead. Let's do a gradient. And instead of just messing up the gradient I already have, I'm going to right click. I'm going to duplicate this layer. That way I have a new one that I can play with. And it has a little bit of purple in it, as a matter of fact. So these are more the Easter colors. And I was trying to see if I have a purple gradient, but if I don't, I'm going to show you one from scratch. So let's grab this pink color. Let's turn it purple. Let's just make it purple. And we can go a deep purple to that lighter purple. And then we can go back to the deep purple. And right now we have, I'm going to turn off these color layers here. Get rid of those. We can also adjust the levels here. So I'm going to adjust the levels so I see a little bit more of my gradient. Let's do layer, new adjustment, layer, levels. And if we play with the levels a little bit, you see how we're getting more contrast in that background, so I can get more of my deeper purples plus my lighter purples. That's why I like work. I realize that I like working with you all on these template tutorials because I get to see what you want. It makes me change the design and figure out some ways to improve the template. So in this case, just implementing these levels, And I would turn those levels off if I wanted the more pastel there. But if I want a deeper color, I'm turning those levels on. So we're going to keep them on for the purple there. And then we can also change the colors of these flowers here. So if I right click and I go to my flowers, I have them in a folder. I'm going to open that folder up. I have a color 1, color 2, and a color 3. Now what I've done is I've pre-colored these flowers, and you can see the little paintbrush marks in certain areas on this flower. And if you just double click the effects, you'll see that there's a color overlay on there. And as a matter of fact, let me delete all my hidden effects. And I do that because if I delete the hidden effects, then you don't see all of that extra stuff you don't need right now. You can always bring it back too. It just makes it less confusing when you go to open these up. All right, so while we're on this color overlay, this is our light teal color from the flowers. I'm going to click on that color, and we can pick a color from the image, or we can make up our own color. So if we say we're going with the purples, we can still stick with our purples. And if you see right now, it's looking more pastel, and that has to do with the levels. So let's choose the darker purple, and let me show you what's going on with these levels. So right now I have the levels on, but if I turn them off, I have more contrast. So these levels were meant to kind of wash out the contrast. So when I turn off the levels, I see, ooh, I get my deep colors there. So now I'm seeing my deep purple. If I turn off the color overlay, you're seeing where I had the purple there. And then, as a matter of fact, my deeper purple, I'm confusing myself now because it was where the teal was. So we just did a color overlay. So color 2 is where this kind of dusty rose color is. Let's double click. And you know what I was supposed to do? Let me go back a second, because I'm making this something that you can redo. Let me go back to my history. And I got my teal back. So what I'm going to do is show you that you don't have to exactly change that color overlay. We can duplicate it. And then that way I keep my original teal color. And then when I edit this new one, I have the purple one on top. So I have the purple one here, teal one there. See that? All right, so we're good on that. Next color, we're still going to do purple. We'll just do a different variation of it. Double click on the effects. We'll keep our color overlay here. And then I said I was going to, I already did on them last time. Delete my hidden effects, so I only see that color overlay. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to hide my pink color overlay. And I'm going to create a new purple. And you can get like a little crazy with your purples. You can do whatever you dream. It'll preview right here for you. So that's another version of purple there. And the other ones are purple already, but I'm still going to show you how to edit that. So we have the color overlay. Let me delete my hidden effects. I'm going to duplicate that, turn off the color overlay, and just adjust that purple just a little bit, just so you can see that it does something different. And I could be on here all day playing with this stuff, guys. Like, I truly could be on here all day playing with this. Okay, so I have some different purples there, and already you can see that it's starting to shape itself into a different design. Well, I picked these purples, and I can also use these purples in my gradient here. And as a matter of fact, we created a gradient for the sky background, and guess what? We can save it. So if I come double click on my gradient like I just did, and I go to new, it will save that gradient, and it saved it as custom. So I'm going to delete that, and then I'm going to type in I'm going to call this my Lopez purple. So when I click new and I go to choose that color, it's going to tell me that that's Lopez now. And we'll see in just a second how we're going to apply that. So let's go to the word memory. Of course, it has a, I was going to say it's got, it has a gradient already on there. Let's double click on it. We'll go to our gradient overlay. And like I said, just do an additional one. I'm going to do this. I wouldn't do this for every single time you change this. But if you want to keep your original so you always know how to get back to it, just duplicate that. We'll turn off the top one since the top one will be default. And then we'll change the bottom one. And we'll change it to Lopez. You see how Lopez pops up? And that would be her gradient. And of course you can adjust it from here. Let's say if you wanted to see more of the lighter purple. You just have to be careful when you have text that has drop cases or I forget what you call any type of part of the text that hangs. If you think you want to see that dark purple, you may not see it as much because whatever the G or the Y is taking up that bottom part of the gradient. So if you want to see it, sometimes you have to increase it and make it more prevalent. So the top of the capital letter there showing a little bit more, and it's showing more from the bottom here. Now here's a trick. You don't have to do that every single time. I think all of this text has the same exact layer style. So I'm going to copy this layer style and I'm going to go to the word Lopez, control click memory, control click, is it Zenaida? Zenaida? I'm thinking. The in loving memory. So those are all the things that have the same type of layer style. So I will go to my paste layer style and instantly everything magically, well, Photoshop magic anyhow, change to that style. So that's pretty much it. I might take my background and turn off, just because I do like the darker purples, but I don't want it to stand out on my background. So I might turn off the levels here so it's not so intense. It looks more like it's subtle in the background. And then I still see that I have a glow on the photo. So if I go to that outer glow, I can change the color of the outer glow by hovering over any color on my image, and I can pick that color. So if I like my lighter purple, I can pick that. If I like one of the darker purples, I can pick that. I think I like the lighter. And this one's almost a white, but it's a little glow of purple. And just makes her glow a little bit against that background. So I'm about to check in just a second, see what you guys think. Yay! All right, Veronica, I'm glad you like it. So is there anything that we need to change with this one? Oh, if you want to put her dates on there, then I can definitely change those dates for you. But otherwise, you'll have the template, so you can update that. Like if you don't want to make that public, I can just keep the dates on there as basically they're just markers. And the reason why I do that is I put those X's down there because if I put somebody else's date, like I use a template and I had somebody else's date, automatically people may overlook it because, you know, a lot of times, like I said, people are going to be in shock and in awe and they may not pay attention to those details. And you have somebody else's dates on there, it's going to be rough on you, especially if you're printing like 50 shirts of this. So what I would suggest is I put these X's here because everybody sees those X's and they automatically tell me immediately what date they want to have there. So I'm so glad you like this. And what I'm going to do for Veronica and whoever else I pick for the other two templates tonight, once I do, you'll see a 10-minute tease template pop up on YouTube. And then usually I also announce it in the Innate Creatives group. And once you see that, just hit me up and let me know what your email is, because you have to set up a login on the website. You'll set up with your email. Let me know your email and I'll issue you the $20 credit, and that's what it costs to purchase the Photoshop file. So basically you'll get it for free, but you'll still go through the process. That way I make sure that the same person isn't always getting the free templates. Okay, love. So cool. So I'm going to show you all how to revert back real quick. If you wanted to go back to the pastel colors, for the flowers, for instance, you would go back to your effects. And remember, I made another version of it. Now this one isn't going to show too much because I think the purple is what this one was purple in the first place. So let's choose a different one. Yeah, it was purple. Let me choose my pink one. So if you want that pink back, throw your pink back on there. Easy peasy. And then maybe you want to have like a few combinations that you know you use a lot. If you use a lot of pinks and purples or pastels, or red is a popular color, then you may want to have those set up, by default, ready to go. And purple is a very popular color. So if you showcase this in purple and then you showcase it in another color combination, somebody that really likes purple would probably see that, hey, that's my design, I definitely want that one. Versus when they saw it in the Easter color combination, it might not stand out to them. So that's why usually when I do my mock-ups, I'll mock it up 2 different ways. And then, you might think they're 2 totally different designs, but all it is a little color change, a little photo change. Okay, so we are done with this one. I'm going to save this as is. And we can go ahead and close that one out. Done. Okay, let's see. Now, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Is it Nucci, like Gucci? Nucci Fuller? Usually when you purchase a template, I have to manually send you the link. So definitely check your spam folder first, because I'm sending a link of such a large file, that's where it ends up a lot of times. And if you don't have it in your spam folder, then email me, please. And my email is in the chat for this session. Now, Veronica, that is a great question. You have Affinity. So I have to convert templates from Photoshop to Affinity. And this will be one that I have to do quite a little bit of converting because it's a lot of text. And like I told you, for some reason, I don't know why Affinity can translate everything else as far as my gradients and everything. It cannot translate my my text. So I end up having to retype it. But what I'll do, you'll have to message me though. I will make it into an Affinity template for you. Okay, cool. All right, Kimberly, I'm glad you like the purple too. All right, let's see what's next on our photos that we can pull in. We want to choose one. I think I want to do this one. Let's see, this is Kendra. I gotta get some guys in here. So I just dragged it from my folder straight into here. And what I should have done is dragged it to the top now because I messed up my clipping mask. There we go. So what I always look for is I drag the photo typically to the very top, and then I look for where is my photo. Then I'll drag that photo to whatever layer has the image. So I'm going to turn off the image there, and we can see how this can just as easily be this photo for Dad. And then I'm going to show you how we switch it up with colors and all that good stuff. We zoom out just a little bit, and Dad is a bit taller, so we want that halo to sit just right. And it is transparent, so it kind of looks like it's in front and behind at the same time, which is the purpose of it. I'm going to turn on this white background so you don't see that checkerboard. Now, sometimes what I'll do with the halo, and this is just a trick, you don't have to do this. So for the halo, let's say I want to make it look like the back of this halo is behind him, behind his head. Then I don't delete any pixels, but what I'll do is I'll create a layer mask. I'll grab this paintbrush, a little bit smaller, and then I'll just paint away with the black, of course. And I'll go back a second because black is going to conceal and white's going to reveal. And I think I'm even going to reduce this paintbrush a little bit smaller. And then what I'm doing is I'm not deleting any pixels from that halo. I'm only using a mask of black. And you'll see that little bit of black right there. And it just told my image where to take off. But in this particular case, I kind of like the halo when it floats over the head. But I was just showing you, like I do this a lot when I make a halo go over over text. And as a matter of fact, let me do this. Delete that layer mask, do another one. Let's do another layer mask. And let's delete these pixels instead. That looks a little more believable. So does that make sense to you guys? Like basically you're deleting those pixels so that it looks a little more believable that it's a part of the photo. And let's say I drag it up and now my halo's floating, but I'm missing some pixels there. Cool, we can bring them right back up because if black conceals, then white reveals. So I'm going to flip it to white down here on my color swatch. I know I have white selected now, so I grab my paintbrush and make sure you're on the layer mask and not on the halo. You don't want to paint over it. So I can bring it back just like that. And then what I'm doing is I'm avoiding bringing it back in front of his head again. So if I brought it back, you'll see that's where it is. But now that looks believable, right? Like it's floating. Just giving y'all a little tidbit of information that makes life easier when you're doing these type of designs. So let's see, do I have Kendra with me tonight? And I'll just wait a second to see if she responds. Hey, Kendra! Okay, and it's easy to know your name because Kendra Katie Walker is the same here as it is on Facebook. Cool beans. So, what color would you like to see for him? I see he has like a little bit of, looks like it might be, not an orchid. Is that an orchid? I don't know what type of flower that is, but it looks a little purpley. But you let me know what color you would like this scheme to be. And then I'm going to show you some color change. And then also, if you can let me know if you want, yeah, this one does have a name on it. If you want his name on there and his dates, then let me know that and I will update it for you. And while I'm waiting on those details from Kendra, let's go ahead and see how we change these colors here. So if you look, usually I keep with a theme. So if you see these color boxes here, this is a fill layer, but the fill layer has a certain blend mode applied. So normal usually goes right over it. But in this case, I have the color mode selected. So what it does is it tries to recolor the image underneath it. And I want you to see I have this like the heaven background there. And then I also have this kind of watercolor background. And you can choose to take those off or leave those on. Now, one thing I'm going to do with Dad's photo, Kendra, is I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fade off this bottom because I don't do those hard lines. And although you can't really see, I can tell behind the words that it's this straight line that cuts off there. So let's go ahead and add a layer mask there. Grab our brush tool. Now this time I still have my soft brush selected, but I need to increase that size. And I need to be something substantial enough to where it, when I brush, oh, I still have white selected, so white's going to reveal, so nothing would have changed. I want to make sure black is selected. And I'm just going to brush lightly there. See how it kind of just fades off that bottom just a little bit? It just is more pleasing to the eye for me anyhow. Ooh, dark and light blue. Yes, I love a good color change. So you and Veronica both gave me some good color changes for today. So like I said, if we don't want to get rid of our coral color here, let's just duplicate this layer. And I'm going to take off the visibility of my coral, and let's double click on the coral color and we'll change it to blue. Now you want to make sure that you choose a blue that's closer, you know, closer to the greens or the aqua colors than it is to the purples, because you will end up getting yourself in some trouble there. And you can already see how just changing that updates the photo there. And although I'm selecting a really dark blue, and I'll show you that in a moment, I have my opacity set low, so it's just barely tinting that blue a little bit. And like I said before, we don't want the background to stand out more than the foreground, so a lot of times I do that on purpose so it doesn't compete. Now that is not necessarily true for the watercolor background. I will double click this blue, and I'm going to copy that hex code. If you want all your blues to be exactly the same, then copy that. We'll paste the hex number there, and we can see that that recolored in the blue scheme there. Now you don't have to do just a simple single color. You could do a gradient or anything like that, but typically with the paint splashes, these are more like watercolor paint splashes, so they're going to have variation in the color anyhow. But if I wanted to make this more like a navy blue, I'm going to bring it closer to my black, but I'm going to also gray it out a little bit. Navy blue isn't like this truly intense color. It doesn't have a lot of saturation. It actually has a little more gray to it. So I'm choosing that as my navy. Oh, you know what I was supposed to do? Duh, I was supposed to duplicate that layer. So let's do it again. Duplicate the layer. I'm going to turn off my original layer. Double click, and I'm going to find my little navy again. And I'm just finding it by eye. I'm not really doing anything more than just looking at the fact that I'm not close to those purples and I'm getting closer to my grays. So now let's go to the text here. And the way that I can find whatever I want without going through, sifting through all my layers, is I can right click on what I think I want, and it tells me everything I'm clicking on. So the word, my wife, I see that it has an effect on it. I can double click that effect. Right now it has a gradient overlay, and the gradient overlay is very subtle. But what I'm going to do is keep that same subtle gradient overlay. I'm going to do a color overlay. But what I'm going to do for the color overlay is tell it that I want to color the layer color whatever the layer is underneath it. It'll take the values, the gray values of that layer, and color it with the new color. So right now I have gray selected, but I could very well select my blue. And I wouldn't really select the blue using the color dropper like I just did, only because you're going to get different variations in lightness of that blue. So I would much rather manually select my blue. And I like a good, I like a slate blue. Slate blue is kind of almost more of your grayish kind of cool tone, but it still looks really tough. But you let me know what kind of blue. You said light blue. Do you mean like a sky blue? And like I said, what it's also doing is, I'm going to take the color overlay off. It's taking those gray values. So if I want a really dark blue, of course I have to have a darker color value here. So let me get away from that purple. I'm going to fade it from like a navy blue to a lighter blue and see how you like that. Okay, yeah, sky blue. So how does this look, Kendra? You said sky blue to a dark blue. Let me know if you like this, and if you like this color combination, then I will copy that layer style and paste it to the word angel, because that looks like it has the same effect there. Okie doke. So we like that. Let's copy that layer style and let's go to angel and we'll paste that layer style. Now keep in mind that I still have my coral color on there. It's just hidden. So if I go to my effects, because I did it as an additional layer, I can just click that off and I still have my coral layer down there. Now I probably believe that it's so amazing just because that's a neutral color. And let's deal with the God Made Her. And I think it actually has a navy blue stroke around it. It does. So now all we'll have to do is go to our color overlay. Let's choose a new color overlay. So we still have our light coral underneath there. We just choose our light blue. Keep with the light color theme. And of course now we have to edit the text because it says my wife, so we're gonna say my papa. That's cool. That's what I call my granddad, papa. Papa. P-A-W-P, and that's exactly how I spell it. You must be from the South. Papa. Now you do see how that kind of changed your typography, the way that it looks and feel. So what we can do two things. We can make it smaller altogether, or if it doesn't look too crazy, I just squish it. If it starts looking really crazy, then I reduce the size. So I feel like we can go out a little bit wider than how we had it before. And there we go. So whenever I do a shorter name, like, as a matter of fact, I could have, let me do that. I'm going to leave my wife and then I'm going to duplicate the layer. So then that way someone who gets this template won't be so confused, because if I squish it and then I put my pawpaw, P-A-W, P-A-W, and if I tried to change the squished my pawpaw back to my wife, it would look a little weird because it would be squished in for a short name. And I'm going to set that right to the middle. And it would be God Made Him. So I can double click on the word her and put him. And angel. And let's say the purple that's here, you know, we see the purple here in the flower and the purple in the glasses. Y'all know I'm matchy. So let me show you how you might want to do for that. Let's go to the photo. Let's do a layer, new adjustment layer, and let's do hue saturation. I'm going to use the previous layer to create a clipping mask. So I'm not going to do this to everything, just this particular layer. I'm going to go to my magentas because I feel like that's where that color mostly is. Now, granted, it might change your skin tone, which I'm pretty sure it will. We're just going to see how that affects it. So if I turn the magentas all the way down, you see that flower changes. That means that's the color I'm changing. So if I want it to be more blue, I change the hue. I was not trying to freestyle just then, but it just came out that way. So I'm getting it more to a blue, and then I might bring the saturation down because I don't want it to be like a really obvious blue. I might bring the lightness up or down depending on whether I want it to be darker or lighter. And obviously there's another color in there, and it's probably red. So I'm gonna guess that it's red. Bring my saturation all the way down and bring it all the way up. But guess what? That's the skin tone too. But it's cool. It's cool. We're gonna show you what to do with that. So first thing I'm gonna do is crank the saturation up a little bit, and I'm gonna find out how that color gets closer to blue. We're closer to blue right there. And then maybe I want that part to be a little darker. And I'm only paying attention to the flower right now. I'm not looking at the skin because I'm gonna bring all that color back for the skin. And I think I'm okay with that for the flower. So now it just matches just a little bit better. And if all I was trying to change is the color on this flower, you see, I'm going to go to Control I. So I inverted, Control I just inverted that from a white mask to a black mask. Now, like I said, black is going to conceal, white's going to reveal. So now it's concealed everything. I'm going to go in with my paintbrush, have my white color selected, get a smaller brush here, and now I can paint back on this layer. And it's going to bring that blue back. That's just if that was just something really bothering you. I do this all the time for people's outfits. Like if they're wearing a purple outfit and they're like, oh, I really want a pink theme, then I'll change the outfit to pink. So that just kind of gives it that. Same thing with the glasses. Now, I'll be a little weary of doing it on the glasses only because his skin is underneath the glasses. So if I change the color on the glasses, guess what? It's also going to change the color of the skin underneath. So I'm not going to do that on the glasses. You'd be a little bit more advanced technique to do that. And even I wouldn't play with that. So we got our blue going on there. Let's double click and change our text. And if I triple click, it should select. Oh, you know what? I got this. I have this as two different lines of text, or do I? Nope, it's one. So I'm double clicking the T here in order to select that whole line. And let me see what I'm putting here. I gotta go back to my chat. Yep, he's from the South. Ain't nothing like a pawpaw now. All right, let me go back to my live chat and see. And I kind of have to type with one hand. So forgive me if I misspell it, let me know, okay? Ludaniel space Walker, Walker. Got it. And this right now is the gray color. We can go in. And you could leave it with this gray, but let's just show it with the full color change. Darker, and then let's choose our lighter blue. And then I'm kind of torn now because I like the darker blue, but I'm going to stick with what I have. There we go. All right, let's see. And then we have the dates to change. So what I'll do for the dates, so I want to keep that original one there. I'm just going to duplicate just the date. So I keep the original one there, and let's Control A to select all, and let's retype. This is April RIL 16th 1945, and you see every time I type something there's a chance for human error. So that's why I tell y'all try not to type. If you don't have to type, don't type. I'm just hitting the space bar just to give me some space here. There's several other ways you can do this, but this is by far one of the easiest. And let's type February 26th 2020. Oh, his passing away date was not, what, just 2 days ago. Oh, wow. Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. Well, I'm glad we're getting a chance to do this tonight. All right, Papa, we're doing this one for you tonight. We're gonna make this pop. All right. Now I see a little something here. Let me figure out where that's coming from. Probably one of my watercolor layers. And it is. I'm gonna erase that, clean that up a little bit. And there we have it. You let me know what you think. If I missed anything, I need to update or change anything. Oh, you're welcome, Kendra. You're very welcome. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and save this one. It will have this template will have Pawpaw in here, looking spiffy with the blue theme, and then it'll also have the coral theme saved in there. So either way, you'll be able to make these presentations pop, and it'll give you an idea of how to change it up too. So I'm just gonna close up some of my folders so it won't look so crazy when you open it. And let's save. Whew. Yeah, that one touched me right there. I didn't realize that's so fresh. We got a lot of fresh Remembrance designs to do. Okay, and Raldiva, I told you I would do yours because you came in, you was on time, and you told me which picture was yours. So now this is like a little tattoo style here, so we can make this one as subdued or as bold as we want to make it. So let's go ahead and bring her in and see what vibes we get. Now already I'm feeling some vibes with these glasses. And you told me that she was a hustler and was about business. She had a side business selling purses, right? Oh, Kendra, you don't have to purchase the template, babe. What's going to happen is when I make it available as a template, because I use Papa on there as a model, basically, you'll get a copy of the template for free. I'll just give you a credit. And when you go online to purchase it, you'll use your credit instead of your cash. Okay? So don't buy it. Just, use your credit, and then you can edit it. And this is what I want you guys to know. I actually encourage you to use these designs on your printed work. I just don't allow anyone to take the art and sell the art, sell transfers, or like sell stickers. Those sort of things are way too close to what I already do. So I just ask that you put it on a shirt or a slate, or Karita, she sells the the hardboard cutouts and things like that. Those are perfect applications. But when you basically sell art or sell PNGs, then it becomes a little bit of infringement on my territory. So that's the only stipulation. So definitely change it out for your you said your for his kids and your and his sisters. Absolutely. I encourage you to do that. Yeah, absolutely. That's what y'all are submitting them for. It's you're helping me and I'm helping you. And at the same time, you all are on here giving me insight on how to make these templates easier for you all and how to make them look better. So, yeah, we're on a team here. All right, Miss Radiva, you ready, love? You're up next. So, give me an idea. You said she was about her money and that sort of thing. Like what kind of colors did she like? What kind of energy did she give off? And while you're about to message me that, I'm going to do a little bit here just to try to, because I see that the top of the hair is cut off here. So I'm going to try a little something here. I'm going to try to take this part of her hair. Doop, 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 doop. And I'm going to go to my layers. Make that a selection. I'm going to copy that part of her hair, then paste it. Control T is going to allow me to transform it. I'm going to flip it around. Drag it up top a little bit. And I'm basically trying to create the top of the picture that got cut off. So this isn't exactly how I were doing it if I were doing like a full photo restoration, which by the way, I do not like doing photo restoration. So I do charge a lot to do them if I do them. That's just to let you know. All right, so what I'm going to do here is go to my layer mask, and what I'm trying to do is just blend away. Well, if I had black selected, I'd be doing it. Just kind of blend away some of the edge of that picture, and I'm seeing if I can make it look like that goes together. Does that look believable enough? Just to give her that little top of her hair back. And then I can also drag it below the photo and get a better idea there too. If I drag it below the photo, I'm doing the same thing, but now I'm just removing the parts from the top of the photo. And I'm going to increase my hardness on my brush here a little bit so that when I bring back, I'm going to choose white to bring back a little bit of this edge. So it looks a little bit harder and it matches the original feathering of the image. And like we said before, we have some equipment over here we need to get rid of. So black is going to conceal. I'm choosing my black right now, and I'm painting not on the physical picture. I am painting on the mask layer. And there we go. Like I said, I wanted to show you when you come across some issues, what you might end up doing. And you already know how I feel about this hard line here. We're going to get the soft brush, bring the hardness all the way down to 0, bring the size of that brush up enough to do some real work. Anytime I see those pictures cut off, I just fade them. All right, and let me check my messages and see if Dee has any input on colors yet. Let's see. All right, D, where you at? I was waiting on a little bit of feedback, but I don't know if we've lost her or what. But what I'm going to do is, because I told her I would do it, I'm going to hold on to this one. And because I don't have the feedback, I can't really get into it like I want to. But I'm going to go ahead and group this stuff here. That is an image. I will turn it into a smart object. So if anybody wants to see how I clean that up, you can just double click that image and get an idea of how I did that. But essentially, if I were doing this design, I would drag it down to the photo layer. And there are a couple of photos on here. There's one that's just the image a large size, and there's one with the photo with the wings. So you can take the wings off, you can leave the wings on. So let's say we're going to take the wings off of that one because we just want this tattoo style here. And let's play with those colors, those gradients. I like to use gradients because it gives people an easy way to recolor stuff. You also have on this one, let me turn the background on, you have the clouds, and it also has the stairway, like the cloud stairway. So that's a part of this template as well, if you want to turn that level on, or that layer on. So right now we have our vector smart object. We have a current gradient overlay. I'm going to duplicate that layer overlay, and we're just going to do a different color set. And I think this was Radiva, but I'm not sure. So I don't see any comment yet. And I think I have it on live chat, so I would be able to see the recent comments. So I'm going to choose a different photo. Who else is here right now that submitted a photo? Oh, excuse me. Monet, is this your image, babe? You said she was a nurse? I'm trying to get some details for this image so I can build on it. Y'all, excuse me, I have to sip on my water when I've been on this thing for more than an hour. Monica. Oh, you did send me one. Which one did, you said it was a nurse picture. Let me see if I have it. I think that's the only one that I saw that has a nurse. Well, Monica, I'll check my email and see, because I'm going to be doing a lot of these Remembrance shirts, so I definitely need the models, and I will, I'll check my email to see if I have that. But what I'm going to do for this one, I'm going to go ahead and just finish this one out with colors, and then it'll be editable. So let's go ahead and choose an alternate color scheme. Let's say, and these are some colorways I already have selected. We did an olive color scheme recently, and that one turned out really pretty. But I think I want something bold. She looks like the type that would definitely not be afraid of color or style and be ready to punch up the color. And I want something different than what I already have on here. Excuse me, guys. Let's go with something hot. Why not? I see she has a little hot pink there in that stethoscope. Alright, so I'm just playing along with my gradients here, modifying. And where I have it is not necessarily where it's going to be. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and create a new one. I might even switch up whether I have it on linear, radial. I kind of like radial for this one right now, at least for the cross in the background. And then I may even change my blend mode. Right now it's on linear burn. I can go down and change it to where it's just really coloring the outline. I think I like overlay. Just to kind of switch it up a little bit, and you'll see what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to bring back the background, the heaven background, in a little bit. But I want to give you all a different idea of how you can use these same templates to achieve a totally different look. So, and what I was not supposed to do, I keep forgetting, guys. I'm supposed to not change everything all the way. Let me go back. And what I want to do, I thought I was doing it though, is I want to create a duplicate gradient overlay. Turn my initial one off, and then everything that I just did, I'm going to do it as a secondary option. And this one we'll do is radial instead of the reflected. And I think we had it on overlay. So I can take that, copy that layer style, and let's paste it on the flowers. And if you can see right here, there is a white underbase to this image, and I could also paste a layer style there. It gives me a different look. So let's say I want to bring in the background now. Now it makes a little more sense. It's not as busy. I can bring in my background. And I can do a layer, new fill layer, a gradient. And this time I can choose the gradient that I just selected. Or just created. Looks a little crazy right now, but we're going to see if we play with, I might want to do this one radial as well. And let's play with the blend modes. I'm going to turn the hue saturation off right now and turn this on to color. And automatically you get like a brand new design just playing with those colors. Now for the banner here, that gradient overlay, It's kind of getting killed a little bit because it's not standing out as much. So maybe instead of radial, I might do linear, and we can see now that that pink comes back into play. So I think I like that. And that's a whole nother design. Just like that. And it looks like a little spicier, or, you know, a little more hip. Looks like something that, you know, she might like the colors and be able to have a hot pink bag that match if she was into her bags. And that's it. That's a wrap. Let me know what you think. I don't know if we still got you online or if I lost you. You had a hot date tonight or what? The document size, that's a great question. These are 13 by 19, but you can, in Photoshop, you can resize them. And I do the artwork at 150 DPI, especially for you all, because these files can be so huge that trying to work with them on most computers, I don't want your computers to be crashing. So I do 150 DPI. Thanks, Tanya. Yeah, pink is always hot. Definitely. And you asked me about the color combinations too. That one, it's like a color combination I got from a pair of sneakers. It was a pair of sneakers that went from like hot pink to like the sunset kind of yellow. And I just used that color theme. So sneakers are good inspiration too. Fashion in general was a good inspiration. I use fashion as inspiration for colorways. Nature a lot of times, even just a photo. Like if you sent me this photo and I didn't know what colors to choose, I'd be like, okay, she likes red, her lips are popping, she likes pink, you know, she definitely has the pink on her stethoscope, and that's immediately I would have went to pink. Oh, D, you back with us. So how does this look for you? I was trying to guess about what colors she would like, and, you know, kind of her vibe and energy. And then I wanted to switch it up quite a bit from the previous one. So, you know, with a single template, you can get several different type of looks. You can go with your more traditional, you know, I want to say the classic designs, and then you can always punch it up and go edgy. Like I can even put paint splashes on this, and this will look edgy. Let me show you an example of that. So we got our born date. Okay, so let's go ahead and change that. Duplicate that layer. You all get to see, you know, pretty much real time how this stuff works. Let's see, we're going to do 12/30. So we'll type it out. December. If I could spell December. It happened not too long ago. 30th. And that's 1997. And then we have, oh wow, May 5th, 2019. And then what I'll do, I'll reduce this text size here so that I make sure it fits on here. And what do you want to put as a title here? You can actually put her name. It doesn't have to say happy birthday. You can put in love and memory, whatever message you want. This is all editable. So instead of happy birthday, let's duplicate those layers. Take off the happy and the birthday. Her favorite color is fuchsia. And I told you I would look at lipstick in her stethoscope and tell that she liked color. So yeah. All right, so that was supposed to be 1970. Okay, it was missing a number, and I wasn't sure. I guess I could have used my little logic there, but she looked like she could have been born in 1997. Hello. Okay. All right, so let's do in loving memory, Cassandra. Oh, that's sweet. That's my middle name. Cassandra. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let me right click on this happy, and then we're going to put in loving. I'm taking that space out of there just because that was a lot of space for this little scroll here. And then we'll put memory. And then we'll put the memory below the in loving. There we go. And then instead of mother, we'll duplicate that layer. All right, so duplicate, turn off mother, double click on the T, and we'll change it to CASSANDRA. And we can also change this. If I double click here, you have an option to play with. Oh, it's not gonna work because it's not full bold, but we'll change it up. So we could, you know what? Let me show you a tip here. I'm gonna go back to my full bold and see if it will let me do it. Nope. So if you have a name the way that you want it, I'm going to right click and I'm going to go ahead and rasterize that layer. And then I will go to edit, transform, and I'm going to warp it. That way if I want it to look like it's kind of on this path, I can kind of give it that look. And I still I like for it to ride up above the top there. But at least it looks like it's riding along the bottom just a little bit. And that's an option that you have. But when you do that, it's final. I can't edit that text anymore. So the only other thing I can do is kind of make it ride like this one. I'll show you what Sister does. Sister kind of rides along, and it's editable along that path. All right. Now, do you want me to leave this expression on here that God gives his hardest battles to his toughest warriors, or you want me to take that off? It's just as simple as making it visible or invisible. And I'll just show y'all how to do that. Yes, leave it. Perfect. But if you needed to take that off, it's as simple as turning off the eyeball here, and that's it. Just making sure my edges are clean. You know, I can't stand them little hard edges. I'm making sure we got some good, clean, faded off edges there. And that is our alternate design, folks. I'm so glad this is appropriate for her. I'm glad. And see, what happened was, when you had to leave, I think her picture, the picture you sent in, just spoke whatever it is that needed to be spoken for her energy to be seen and felt tonight. And I don't know if you saw this, D, but did you see me put the top of her hair on there? Because I wasn't finna have her going out with that little flat top. You know, I had to restore that photo a little bit. That's cool. That's cool. And I'm glad her daughter would probably really, really love this. And this will be something that'll last a lifetime, just like sublimation. That's what I tell folks. When they always come to me, especially for this type of stuff, memorial items, I always let them know this is going to last a lifetime and then some. She said her vibe. She definitely did. Because I was asking for it. I was calling for you. I said, you know what? We're just going to go off the photo. So it worked out. It worked out. All right, love. So by tomorrow, I'll have these listed as templates that people can purchase. However, for you, D, make sure that when I post it, I'm sorry, I think I've been talking too long. Um, when I post this in the Innate Creatives group as the template that's ready to purchase, then just make sure that you have an account set up on innatelab.com, and then I will let me know what your email is for that account, and I will issue you a credit so you don't have to buy it. You can use your credit to get this template, okay? And for everyone else, I had so much fun with you all tonight. I have some beautiful pictures to work with, and I'm going to be kind of taking from some of the energy from some of these pictures too, so that I can pull into new templates, and hopefully we can do those templates live again if I have a little more time. This weekend we're also going to be doing some graduation stuff. I think we're going to add graduation stoles and the caps. So we'll have a template for that will kind of match the all over shirts. So then you'll have an all over shirt, a cap, and a stole that you can pretty much use the same elements for. And I'll have the stole and the graduation cap available just as soon as I can get to it. It'll probably be tomorrow night or Sunday night when we do our live session on that. So be looking out, because when I do a live session, I usually am asking you all for photos. So get your graduation photos ready for that. All right, my loves. Well, I hate to let you go. If y'all have any other questions, though, I got about 10 more minutes where I can take questions and see if there's anything else that you all might want to see or learn, or something you want to see inside of these templates. Graduation. Oh yeah. This weekend is going to be graduation weekend. Graduation and remembrance shirts are my top requests right now. And then I have basketball too. Is basketball almost over now as far as the high schools, or is it just getting started? Kid's birthday. Oh yeah. So kids' birthdays, graduation, a yes for the stoles and the caps. D, I would go with Photoshop if you have a choice, and the choice is not strictly based on the cost, because I know that can be a factor. Then I would go with Photoshop, just because so far it's the most robust. However, if $50 could get you started and you don't have to worry about a subscription and that sort of thing, you could do Affinity. I'm going to tell you right now that I make Affinity templates, but it takes me so much longer because I have to convert them from Photoshop to Affinity. So if you want to keep up with a lot of the templates that I'm doing, more than likely that's going to be Photoshop. And then that's my primary. And then secondary, I'll do Affinity only if someone purchases that template. And then it takes me a few days to prep that file. Oh yeah, baseball and softball. I've got to get on that. As a matter of fact, I have some great softball images from I can't think of his name right now in the group, and that's so sad because he does excellent work, excellent photography work. But I will definitely be doing some softball and baseball stuff. So if y'all have any baseball photos, so I need to make a separate post for baseball, softball, track, definitely, and basketball. Because I need some good source images. If I have good photos, it speaks to me, and then I could just create these fantabulous designs. And Monica, what you saying? My dream? What's your dream? Oh, Easter. Yes. As a matter of fact, the image that we had earlier, it was a remember shirt, but it was a Easter-based design because her birthday is around Easter. So that's where that the design color scheme came from. So you can imagine you can put birthday photos in there, keep the Easter theme. You can even put like your praying hands on there, and that same template now is no longer a remembrance shirt, but it is kind of a remembrance shirt because that's what you're doing it for. But I just don't want you to think that one template has to be used one specific way. You can go a lot of ways with these things. Oh, the Minnie Mouse picture. Okay, so you're going to have to remind me when I do a kids, because I still have that photo. And I did one birthday shirt that night. And I need to do another birthday. So let me know what theme you think would be proper to do for a birthday shirt for her. Or just a theme shirt in general. And you all really like when I do those theme shirts. We did a Mickey Mouse one the other day. And I just posted that one. And whenever I post them to the group, that's when y'all have to let me know to send you the credit so that you can get that template for free. Harley. Oh, and you know what? I think you've told me about this too. The whole Harley and bikers theme type stuff is definitely a big deal. Yeah, Sylvia, that's what I love, that you mix and match them. As a matter of fact, show them off in the group. Let people know, because I want people in the group. I want y'all to show off and show others what you're doing with the templates or what you're doing with your own artwork. All I ask you to do is just say something about what you're doing, because you have so many groups where people are just showing off their artwork. Hey, look what I did. Hey, look what I did. And I love that we all get to show off, but at the same time, this is a teaching and learning environment. So if you're going to show something off, say, hey, I use this background, I use this color splash, I use Shanon's template, or I pulled this, from free source online, and look what I compiled and made. I want that to be something that once you break it down, then the common person can look at it who might be intimidated to design and say, you know what? Okay, that is just a background, a foreground, a little basketball in there, a little flame there. I could do that. And I want this to be an environment where we're all encouraged to be that creative. Yes, and of course, if you mix and match my templates, then yes, definitely shout that out. And people will get to see how they can do that. Okay. And I know what I was going to do for the last few minutes. So I get a lot of questions about how to make these into all over designs. So let me show you. As a matter of fact, I've started doing this with a lot of the designs now. I just automatically make them all over. So you have a 13 by 19, and let me see if I can pull this one up without. Let me see if I can pull it up without getting too intense, because this is one of the larger files. What's that? Remembrance. So y'all might get me an extra 10 minutes today. I don't know. I think the other night y'all didn't want to let me go. I was on here for a whole nother hour. Let's see. Remember, it's this one. So what I'm trying to convince you to do, now I'm not trying to take money out of my own pocket, but I'm trying to get you to understand that you can take like one of these 13 by 19 templates, combine it with an all over template, and you don't have to purchase an all over template every time you do an all over design. And I think I got one pulling up here. Let me see. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you a couple different ways you can do it. And this works in Affinity too. If you're an Affinity user and you have one of these templates, you can definitely still design the all overs the same exact way. The only thing is I can pull in a working file into another Photoshop window, and it still is a working file. I haven't figured out how to do that in Affinity yet, but I am going to see if that exists, because if so, that makes it a lot easier. And like I told you, this is a large document, this Remembrance shirt here, but it pretty much has the majority of the elements that you'll need. It has wings, it has a couple of different gate backgrounds, it has a full sky background with a middle ground and a foreground sky, and I don't know if the halo's in that one. It might not be. And of course you have some text in there. But what I'm going to show you is these three designs tonight. Although all three of them look different, I'm going to show you how we can use this one all over background template to pretty much play on anything that we're doing right now. If it will open. Let me not talk bad about my computer and give it a little time, a little space. I probably should be drinking some water anyway, since I plan on talking about at least 10 minutes longer. Okay, and I see y'all are still with me. What's Crybaby's Magic Tear? What's that, Monica? Crybaby's Magic Tear? I'm almost scared to try to look something up online while Photoshop is opening up this big file, but hey, let's live a little. Matter of fact, let me not live too much. Let me live a little and do, I think I'm going to do Firefox instead. Because Google Chrome does happen to, look, as soon as I open the internet browser, high CPU usage detected. You may experience performance issues. So hopefully y'all are still with me. Let me see. Cry Baby. Let me put my cup down so I can type faster. Baby Magic Tears. Oh, I would have never known anything about this. Magic Tears. Well, okay, let's just look up images. You know, the kids are all up on all of this trendy stuff. I have no idea what this is. I'm probably so off on this. I'm thinking LOL, like I'm just learning about the little LOL characters and stuff. But yeah, so send me an image, because I don't know like what is popular in this arena. So you'd have to send me an image and we can play off of that as far as how we'll do your thing. I'll show you how to mock it up. So, and this is another reason why I like doing these lives. Now you guys get to be hip on some stuff that I see that Latrice Ford said she'd never heard of it either. So this is good. So now you know what the kids might be into, what might be popular as far as doing for your own, you know, nieces and nephews and kids and you know, neighborhood folk. So definitely Monica, email me. I think I have the photo though, but email me the photo again just in case so I remember which one to match it up with. Because I think I remember she had on a Minnie Mouse outfit, if I'm not mistaken. So email me that photo and email me whichever character she likes best or what kind of represents her. And we'll go from there. Oh, the military themes. I do have some. I have some. Y'all gonna make me break out all the files. I have some like Army Mom. I even have some for Army Wife, Army Girlfriend, and all the different military branches. So, Veronica, definitely put that as a suggestion in the Innate Creatives group. Just make a post and ask for that to be a template. And even I do custom requests, like I do one-on-one tutoring, and then I also do custom requests. But every now and then, if it's just a good idea and I feel like it's something I need to pull out in the arsenal, I'll do it just for the sake of, and then maybe I'll use your photo for that template. All right, so this one pulled up. Army Mom, yes. All right, Malquan. I don't know if y'all were here for the live last night, but Malquan did a one-on-one session, and we did it live for his design. And he says the shirt turned out beautiful. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, we did like an ice theme for youth basketball team, the Ballers. So I'm excited to see how that came out. All right, so let me show you. Let's do this. Since I have this one open, I'm going to And Erica is so generous as to have let me use this design. This is her family, and Erica is the admin in the group. She is so amazing. She's probably here right now. She's here for everything. And I got a chance to create this design, which has been very, very popular. I got a chance to use her family as a model in this prototype. And we've been tight like glue ever since. All right, so let's see. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the photos here so that I can show you what elements you have available. So let's just say I want to bring in this whole image. The first thing that I do is I just grab everything, group it, and then I'll bring it into my new file. And automatically you're going to start to see, hey, that kind of looks like an all over design already. Now, the way this goes is that this can get really data intensive because it's already a large file and you're bringing in editable layers. So if you can't do that, if your system won't allow you to do that, what I'm doing right now, then what you can do is you can pull it in as a PNG, and I'm going to show you that method too. So right now I have this whole group I just pulled in. I'm going to Control T to transform it. And this file might be a little bigger than 150 DPI because the way it came in kind of strong and big. And normally it would come in a little smaller than that. There we go. And I'm just going to place this on top of everything except for my outline here. I reduce the size of name right now just so y'all still see it while we're working, but it's not in our way. Now we have a color theme here. It's already a part of this gradient here. I have my top sky background. I can click on this color layer here. This is a hue saturation, but I can do a whole gradient. So I can do layer, new adjustment layer, and let's go to, oh my bad, new fill layer. Let's go to a gradient, say okay. And I'm going to choose my gradient. Choose my blend mode. And yeah, when I say y'all can play with this stuff and like come up with some crazy designs that you might not ever think of. Like I may have never thought of making this a yellow and pink like cloud background, but it just kind of works. And we're going to see if it really works. I'm going to pull that same gradient over to my midground and I'm going to clip it, right click and create a clipping mask. I'm going to clip that down to that layer and then I'm going to drag another version over my foreground clouds. Create a clipping mask there. And my blue that I have going on here, I've got it on multiply. Oh no, that's my foreground clouds. I think it's these. Yep. Oh, I know what. My gradient isn't working proper because I have the color overlay on this right now, which is cool because I can show you if we didn't want to do it the way we just did it with a gradient fill layer, I can go to my effects and do the same thing. So I can do, instead of a color overlay, I can do a gradient overlay. And I can still select my homemade gradient. In the blend mode, I can put it on whatever blend mode works for how I'm working right now. I think we had it on multiply, but this is color. You try these different blend modes, see what works for you. Using lighten and screen sometimes give you a different effect. Color dodge is kind of making those clouds like almost neon, like just glowing. As I said, you don't know what you're going to get till you start playing with it. But you can see that I've taken a template that was not intended for this particular design, but I've combined them. And that's exactly what I want you all to start doing. So I'm thinking hue works there. And the same thing here. I can change my blending mode. I can make this hue instead of, well, no, hue doesn't really work because it's white. So see, if I color there instead of hue, it just adds that little faint bit of color for the foreground clouds there. But I can just use my arrows here and change how these blend modes are operating right now. And I would have never thought I liked multiply like that, but I do like it. Color burn is kind of cool too. I don't typically use multiply for anything that are like clouds or anything light. I normally will use my color mode, but this has got me thinking something else. Or we could even leave it white down there, so it's the white and then it raises up. And I can still do a color overlay here, and maybe I just do a solid color. Add to that, do the pink instead, and voila. Now we have a pink overlay there. Like I said, this stuff is really, it's really about you just playing with it, like really getting into it, really understanding these different layer options and that sort of thing. It still has the wings back there. I can take those wings and put them on her now. I can not have the wings at all. It just really depends. But I just want to show you how you can combine templates. So I'll probably play with combining that template. Same thing if I were to, let me see if it's even possible. Take Pawpaw, drag him into the into that image, and I probably wouldn't have even had to change the colors at all, because the colors, the sky was already blue and that sort of thing. So you could take this whole image, and I'm going to show you an alternate way to do it. If your file just became way too big, turn off the background, go ahead and export this as a PNG. And I'm going to dash Pawpaw on this one. Because I usually save them as PNGs anyway, just so that I can do my mock-ups and layer them. So now I can close it out because I don't want too much going on, but I have that saved as a PNG, and then I have one more that we did tonight. And this one is in purple. Well, I want to keep that one because I want to show you how you can change the background. So let me keep that one all together. All right, where's my group? Here's my group. And of course I would take the text off, the previous text anyway. Take that off, and then I would keep my new text, or I can retype it, however you want to combine it. It's up to you and your creativity. So what I want to do is, this one is the tattoo style. I'm going to turn that one off. Oh, that looks cool there too. Alright, so let's go ahead, file, place. Or you know what, let's just drag it in. I'm going to drag it in. I love just dragging images in. It makes life so easy. Drop it like it's hot. Right onto our design. And I'm telling y'all, there it is. It's not the same gate and everything. So what you could do, you could turn elements off of, like you can turn this gate off. Right here in the background, you have two gates. You have gate 1 and gate 2, but you can turn off both gates. You can preserve the gate that's already on there. Of course, you turn off the word gone. That's your new design, and you would change your colors. Take that pink off. Take that color overlay of pink off there, and voila! All over design, ready to go. I just want y'all to understand that you can combine templates. So there's one more I wanted to combine, and it would be this one. So for this one, what I would suggest, and this is just me, my kind of almost lazy way of doing this, is to take my background here, because I liked, let's say I like the stairs better than I like the image on the other one. Then I could drag, see, as a matter of fact, I'll drag it. I have the stair selected in my layers. I'm going to drag it, just that layer, that one layer. This is why I like Photoshop. Look at that. I have my stairs on here now, which that's not a part of this template. So I have that part, and then instead of dragging all of the other layers individually over, what I'm going to do is turn off the stairs layer, turn off that background altogether. So all of this is one image, and then I'm going to export that as a PNG. Now we have the purple version. Go back to my image. How quick it is to pull in a PNG is ridiculous. Now pulling in the Photoshop layer is a little different, and it does increase your file size tremendously. So bam, we got that image in there. And what I'm not doing is I don't have my template layers turned on that show you whether it's going to fit in the small or not. So I am kind of not checking on my guidelines a little bit, but I'm just showing you how you can do all overs regardless. If you just have this one template and then you have a bunch of 13 by 19 templates, I'm showing you how you don't have to. People will pay me to make this design into an all over template, and I will do it, but I'm just showing you, you have that power like right here, literally in your hands when you have these two templates together. All right, so let's do this same thing we did before. I could even bring in that adjustment layer that made it purple. I could have brought them in together. That probably would have been smart. Shanon, it would have been smart. So I can select my background layer and then my purple gradient if I had held down control. Now right now it's invisible, so let me turn it on. But this one and this one, I could have brought them over together. Dun, 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 dun. I have my purple background. And then I brought over this gradient that I also understand that I can apply. If I Alt and drag it, that means I'm making a copy of it anytime I hold down Alt and drag something. And I can drop it here. Turn off those levels because I wanted that darker color there. And now it automatically becomes a part of this design. And from what I see here for the steps, and you can't really tell there's steps here. So I want to do something about that. Where did I drop it? Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and bring this all the way down to the background area, but above my regular background. And then I'll make sure I'm going to turn off pop off for a second so I can see what's going on here. I can turn my gate back on because in this design we didn't have a gate. So if I want a gate now for Ms. Lopez, we can go ahead and turn on my gate options, drag this layer, no, don't replace my layer mask. I just want it to be below. There we go. When you see those double lines, it dragged it below. So let's say you wanted a gate in there. And in that case, I'll turn off my photo there. Let's say you wanted the wings. You got the wings on there too if you want them. You have back wings and forward wings. But I'm going to turn those off. Let's say, yeah, let's turn those off. We'll put the back wings on. And then we'll change the gate. Let's say you didn't want the 3D gate. You wanted gate option number 1. Now you can Control T and increase the size of gate number 1. We'll decrease the size of this image just so it doesn't cut off in any important places. And you can place her right there where it looks like she has those wings on. And of course you already had like doves in it and stuff, so you might turn off the doves in the template. Some things are going to be repetitive, but what I want you to get the idea of is that you can mix and match these things and your options are endless. Another thing I would do, instead of, I could take my brush here, create a layer mask and clean up these edges. And although I had totally different, y'all saw that I had totally different sky backgrounds, doesn't it look like it's blending in now? It's amazing what you can do with a little bit of Photoshop skill. Okay, and then if I want to, the blue that's in the background and the blue that's in the midground, I can change that to purple. And I have an all over design. Okay, so real quick, I think that was quicker than changing out the templates. I showed y'all how to make 3 all over designs out of those 3 13 by 19 templates. Plus this and that all over design. So let me check on y'all, see if y'all still with me, if y'all done passed out and went to sleep on me or what. What time is it? 10:20? Oh, Tanya, I want to see, I didn't know you had pressed yours already. I definitely want to see that. So with all overs, we do have an option to print the all over prints. They're 36 inches by 44 inches, and that will print up to, let me go back to my template here. It prints up to a, I think a 3X, possibly even a 4X at that size. And we offer those, they're $13 per sheet, and then you have to pay for shipping. But it takes down a lot of the work out of toweling, and I'm supposed to do a video on how to towel, but I got to be honest with y'all, I don't towel. I don't towel anymore. I don't have the patience for it. I do a lot more, put a lot more into the digital work, so I can basically kind of skimp on the manual paste up sessions is what we used to call it in newspaper, where we would paste up the different pages to make a big page. So it is possible. I do it every now and then if I absolutely have to, because I have my 13 by 19 printer, and I actually use roll media. So I have like a 13 by, I'll, print up to 30, I think the longest I print usually is like 30, 35, 36 inches long. And then I will tile those sheets to make a bigger sheet. Yeah, just covering up those sleeves is nothing. Even if you just did a little, like a black paint splash or something, or a dark paint splash, just cover up, whatever little mishaps you might have had. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was a little confused on that one. Radiva and Rod James. Yeah. It's only 8:20 there, Lord. So y'all ready to stay up a little longer. Okay. I was wondering why y'all was still hanging out. Yeah, the folks on my end, they done went to bed. They done fell off. All right, let me see what other questions we have here. Yep. It was four presses for an extra large. I think even maybe a 2X, possibly a 3X would have been only 4 presses. It wasn't that bad, especially when you have the single sheet that is tacky. That tackiness is a life saver. I'm telling you that that big sheet tacky paper changed my life when I did it the first time, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm never splicing pages together again. And that's why I pretty much got into that process. And now it's not so daunting. When someone asked me to design an all over shirt, I used to like, nah, I'm straight. I would even charge them. I remember one time I charged, which was appropriate because I did design for it. I charged $85 for it. And I thought they would say no. And they were like, yeah, that's cool. And I was like, dang, now I got to do it. And that was before I was able to get the big sheets. So yeah, I tiled that and it came out nice. And I also have this all over-ish kind of way that I do things, where I might sublimate the sides of the shirt, sublimate parts of the sleeve, and then do the 13 by 19 in the middle. And then that way it looks like it's all over, but it just has multiple presses. So I do that too. Okay, Dee, that's a good question. So I get this sometimes too. Like when you want to basically make a template of a shirt that may not have a popular pre-made template for it. And I did show you how to do that. I have this all over-ish tutorial that's extremely long. It's like 4 hours long. But in the beginning of the tutorial, the very first video, it's a hoodie tutorial. I show you how I took a photo of the hoodie from above, and I made sure my camera was flat. So then that way when I brought it into Photoshop, I just took the dimensions and made it the exact same width and height. And from there, it became my template. So I just put a little bleed area on it when I want to make sure that that I encompass the whole shirt. But that might be a good short video. So some of these things that we're coming up with where I'm saying that's a good short video, put the suggestion in the Innate Lab. The Innate Creatives group, because those are tutorials I know that will help you all. And basically you're helping me generate this content. So I'll make a short video on, how to make a template of an item that may not have a template for it. And I think I have to do that with the stoles because I don't think I have a template for the stoles. So I may do a video just on that part. Sylvia, I am in Florida, Tallahassee. So we are on Eastern Standard Time. Tanya, we got to link up. You're one of my strongest supporters. We definitely have to figure out something to do together, some type of event or something. And yeah, I definitely do one-on-one. So if you go to the innatelab.com/DIY for do-it-yourself, there is a section on there where you can reserve one-on-one time. And it is $60 an hour. I will tell you that up front, but we do a project. Like I don't just willy-nilly say, okay, let's learn how to cut something out today. Let's learn how to make a circle. We don't do that. We say, okay, you got a project to do. You have something you can use to make money. Well, let's use that as a learning experience. So we will make it together. You'll have the video recorded. And if you end up doing it live with me, like doing your session live, then I will give you a credit for a free template. So that works out too. Jacksonville, all right. Arizona, okay. And you moving back to Chicago. Well, I have family in Chicago too. All right. And Maryland's in the house too. All right. West Virginia. Yeah, we got to start linking up and doing some stuff. Doing some events, figuring out how to do, I don't know if any of you do on-demand events, on-demand printing. That's kind of something that I do pretty frequently. And it just allows me to kind of show off designing on the spot, impressing people on the spot. Then usually they'll take a card and that'll be, a customer for life. Chicago. We might need to need to do a tour. Innate Creatives tour. What do y'all think about that? We got to figure out the name for the tour. So I'm going to let y'all come up with that. Let the creatives come up with a creative name. But I want y'all to know I definitely appreciate you all the support, the encouragement, the keeping me on my toes with these templates. I'm still working on templates, believe it or not. So, Tanya, we got to do something on demand. And I don't mind the on demand events. I'm really like, I'm for it, the adrenaline and everything. It's just that it takes a lot sometimes to prep for those events, especially knowing what type of art and knowing your audience. That's the kind of gamble about it. So I might do a sneaker convention and then I come out there with sneaker designs. But the next time, if you want to do like a food festival, then you have to figure out, well, what are people at a food festival going to buy? And you would think they're out there to spend money, but they're out there to spend money on food. So you have to have an item and designs that make them want to take their food money and spend it on whatever your sublimation items are. So, Michelle, San Antonio, I have family in San Antonio. That would be cool, and we could definitely work something out like that. That's one of my dreams, is to have a team where we do on demand work, but we do it as a workshop. Like basically, you come to learn and you get put to work. So it's you have to pay to play sometimes, and it's easier to take that risk if you're doing it in a setting where you don't feel like all the risk is on you and all the egg is on your face. You're kind of going into it where, like, for instance, it took me a while to build up the stuff that I have, the tents, the generators, multiple tables, multiple printers, a couple of different laptop setups. I even have a couple of tablets now that you can wirelessly print from the tablets to the printers. So it takes a while to get that stuff built up, and it's still intimidating for me to this day to do events. But some of the things that I'm most confident doing is like my HBCU setups is pretty much a done deal every time. Like, I know I'm going to hit, I know I'm going to do well, I know, our designs are going to stand out, and people get really excited to personalize their stuff at those events. But I want to start doing more motorcycle events would do well too. Matter of fact, Vegan Life, I can't remember your name, but you're on here as one of our number one supporters too. But for the last HBCU game that I did, it was a classic. It was Tuskegee Morehouse Classic, and there were 4 or 5 different motorcycle groups that ended up coming to our booth and getting shirts made because they were so excited. They got to put their brand on a shirt that they could ride around, ride their bikes around at the classic. So definitely, they have a lot of pride. It's groups. You can design something one time and print it on many different shirts and, kind of make the most money out there. So if you have any ideas for some events, definitely throw them at me. Brandy. Now, and Rara, I can't think. Do I know your name? You say you do food trucks, and that's like the perfect pair. So if we know somebody who's on a food truck circuit and you already know what events are hot and where people are, then it's nothing to kind of, set up at the same event and learn a little bit. Chanel, yes. So yeah, Chanel, definitely. And I'm wrapping up a project right now where I'll start having my weekends open. So I'm definitely going to be looking for events to get into. I'm going to start getting into the sneaker events more. I want to get into more of the food festival type events. Even music. There are these really big music fests that they have in Atlanta that I think we would be able to do some fun stuff. And Essence Fest, I know it's probably a little late for Essence Fest now because we didn't build up the folks that wanted to go like I really would have wanted to, because everybody would have to put in money to basically go and reserve hotel and the booth space ahead of time. But I want to do Essence Fest so bad. I've never been to Essence Fest. It's like the places that I want to go is not to actually relax, is to basically vend and sell stuff and try to show off. Tanya, free time. I'm sorry I laughed at that one, but yeah. But yeah, I definitely do logo design too. So now I make time, so whatever I need to do business wise, I make time for. But I like the logo that you have. The girly tomboy chicks. And I don't know if it's a different entity or whatnot, but I like your logo. And I can tell that you have vision and you know how to put things to work. So, yeah, definitely. Well, thank you, love. I appreciate it. Thank you, Chanel. So this is good. This is good. We got to know each other a little bit better at the end of the session. So some of our other folks might be a little jealous they didn't get to chime in on this part. Ooh, you just started a brand. Awesome. Yeah, that's exciting. So you might be interested in going to, like, I don't know, like what your brand kind of targets, what target market it has, but you might be interested in going to some of the sneaker events or, boutiques and what do they call them? Gosh, I can't think of. Everybody always calls it the market, like going to market. But that could be something cool to start branching out. Yep. You know what? Definitely food and apparel. You can't go wrong. So yeah, let's link up. So I'll start a post in the Innate Creatives group too, to see where you all, like, maybe like a calendar. If we can create a calendar of events that are going on and, how much it costs to attend that event, what you kind of need to set up. Is it an indoor, outdoor event? So outdoor event, of course, you would need a tent, possibly generator, tables, that sort of thing. And if it's an indoor event, the only thing they might require you to do is just bring your own equipment and extra tables. So you may even have access to electricity, but they usually charge us more for electricity because we're using heat presses. So yeah, let's get on the good foot. Let's start doing this stuff. I even want to do sporting events like tournaments, baseball tournaments, where the baseball moms are out there like spending money heavy, and they all want to see their kids as like future athletes. And there are literally thousands of kids out there, 100 teams at a time. Yeah, I definitely want to start capitalizing on those things. But I have to find the outlets. It's all about who you know and how you can get in there. It's not always about just filling out a vendor application and getting in. That is one thing I have learned. But I'm ready to get into it. I'm ready to start traveling and doing that as my primary income, as a matter of fact. Then during the week, I can do my thing on the computer, and on the weekends, I can travel. Okay, loves. Well, I'm so glad we got a chance to catch up and have some time tonight. I am going to, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to get these temples out and up tonight. I'm going to get me some rest. I'm glad you hear that excitement. Yeah, cheerleading also. Cheerleading is one of those events where technically, like, they may have somebody that already does something. And if you sell, I remember I tried to do an event for shirts. And this is even for that, like the high school state championships and things that they have. They won't let anybody vend that sells shirts. So you have to be creative and do some other item. So cheerleading, you could definitely do custom bows on demand. That would be cool. That's a template I'm coming up with too, because so many people have asked me about templates to do the cheer bows. And I actually have a group for a local high school. We're going to do socks and cheer bows as an event for the cheerleaders. I'm going to teach them how to make their own stuff. They're going to make their own stuff, and then hopefully that will teach them how to make their own money, because they'll be able to do it as a fundraiser in the future. Oh yeah, socks, definitely socks. Even for the cheer event, any event you can think of, socks will go. Because the t-shirt industry is really saturated. You have to have something that stands out. And normally what I do to stand out is I have on-demand work. I have never been to an event where people are doing on-demand to the degree that I do on-demand, if they're not like airbrushing. So on-demand already sets you apart. And then second to that is having other items like socks or license plates. Those two items there are, now I sell just as many of those as t-shirts when I do events. And they're smaller, so you can bring 100 socks somewhere and it won't take up nearly the space that 100 shirts will. Or 100 license plates and it won't take up nearly the space that 100 shirts will. So yeah, we need to get into all of this. All of this. And then some of the pitfalls and things that you run into, like when they want you to have certain licensing, or they want you to have this tax number even though you're visiting from somewhere else in order to vend at this event. All of that stuff is a part of the game too. So we get to learn all that stuff together. All right, loves. Well, I see we're dwindling down. We're slowly dying off for the night. And those that have it good in Arizona and so forth, where it might still be 8 o'clock over there, then I'm happy that y'all aren't necessarily worn out for the night. But I'm beat, and I'm gonna get some rest, and I will be back on it tomorrow for sure. So you all be on the lookout. If you have time and you don't have such a social life, something like me, then we'll log on tomorrow and do some work, some graduation shirt stuff, and then I will definitely have some more remembrance templates as well to get on the internet. Alrighty, loves. Thank you all, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Good night. You're welcome. Good night, guys. Love ya. Bye.